Let me show you a technique that is going to completely change how you read and understand, well, just about everything. Today, we're going to learn how to read like a reporter. You know this feeling, right? You get to the bottom of an article, maybe a chapter in a book, or even just a long email, and you get that sinking feeling you have absolutely no idea what you just read. Your eyes were moving for sure, but your brain just wasn't on board. It's so frustrating, and it's called passive reading. But don't worry, we're going to fix that today. The secret is to switch up your mindset. You've got to stop reading like you're just consuming information and start reading like a journalist. A reporter can't just skim the surface. Their entire job depends on getting right to the heart of the matter, understanding every little detail, and being ready to answer any question that comes their way. And what's so cool is where this whole framework comes from. It's not from some fancy university study or a big corporate training manual. Nope. It's actually adapted from a curriculum that was designed to train young, aspiring journalists in Nigeria. And it had one single goal: to turn them into the ultimate answer master. So how do you become one of these answer masters? Well, you use this toolkit right here. These are the 4 levels of comprehension that are going to take you from being a passive reader to an active investigator. This is your roadmap. So let's break them down one by one. First up, level 1, knowledge. This is your foundation. It's all about just spotting the information that is literally stated in the text. We're talking names, dates, places, the raw, basic facts. Your only job at this level is to find what's explicitly there. Easy enough, right? So, the Nigerian curriculum gives us a perfect, simple example. If a passage says the Federal Capital Territory is located in Abuja, then a level 1 question is as simple as, where is the capital? The answer is right there on the page. No tricks, no hidden meaning, just pure fact-finding. Okay, so once you have the facts, you start building on them with level 2, translation. This is where you really start to make the information your own. See, it's not enough to just find the facts. Now you have to be able to explain them in your own words, breaking down any complicated language into something simple and clear. And again, the curriculum has a great example for this. Let's say a text mentions stringent fiscal policies. A level 2 skill is being able to translate that into something like strong rules about money. See? You've just turned jargon into real understanding. The question you got to ask yourself is, can I say this simply? All right, this is where things start to get really fun. Level 3 is interpretation. You found the facts, you can say them simply, now you get to be a detective. The answer isn't just sitting there on the page anymore. You have to take what you know and figure out what the author is implying. You're reading between the lines. For example, if an author is describing dusty roads and hungry children and failing crops, they're probably never going to write the words, "I am trying to make you feel sad." But you can interpret that the mood is somber. You're piecing together the clues to understand the author's true intent. And all of this leads to the highest level of all, projection. This is where you take everything you've gathered, the facts, your simple translation, your interpretation, and you use it to make an educated guess about what could happen next. You're using the text as a launch pad to look into the future. It's really all about cause and effect. The training material has another crystal clear example. If a passage tells you that rainfall has been terrible this year, a level 4 projection would be that, well, food prices are probably going to go up. You're connecting the dots from the text to predict a logical outcome. Okay, theory is great, but let's see how this actually works. We're going to do a quick test using a short passage from the curriculum itself. It's about the future of solar power in Nigeria. As we go through these questions, try to think about which level we're testing. You ready? Let's do it. Okay, first question, and we're hitting that level 1 knowledge. The answer is right there in the text, so where does the passage say large solar farms would be most effective? Boom, right there in the text, it explicitly says installing large solar farms in the sunny north. That's a perfect level 1 fact-finding pull. All right, let's test that level 2 skill, translation. The passage uses the phrase, reducing the strain on the national grid. How would you put that in simple, everyday language? Exactly. You're not just quoting it, you're explaining it. It just means the main power system gets a bit of a break. That is translation in action. Time to put on your detective hat for level 3 interpretation. The text mentions that they need to train local technicians. So what does that imply about how many technicians are available right now? See, the passage never actually says there's a shortage of technicians, But by telling us they need to be trained, we can logically conclude that there aren't enough of them at the moment. That's a classic interpretation.
And finally, let's look into our crystal ball for a level 4 projection. The passage says solar power cuts down on generator use. So, if the government helps people afford solar, what can we predict is going to happen to the use of generators in the future?
That's the projection. Based on the evidence, solar is an alternative, and financial help makes solar more common, we can predict that generator use will decrease. We just looked into the future using nothing but the text. And there you have it, your new complete toolkit for reading like a reporter. Level 1, find the facts. Level 2, say it simply. Level 3, read between the lines. And Level 4, predict the future. This isn't just for journalists, it's a super powerful way to engage with any information you come across. So, the next time you open an article, a report, or even just an important email, don't just read it, investigate it. Challenge yourself to ask questions at all 4 of these levels. Because once you start reading like a reporter, you stop seeing just words on a page and you start seeing the whole story. Thanks for joining me.